Hey, favored ones, trick or treat. Here we are for the holiday reading. Today we will be going over messages from your ancestor. The title of the video will be Spooktacular Tales from the Crypt. And we will be asking one question on what hatchet do you need to bury, like what it is that you may need to put to rest during this season, and then we'll be pulling one card on advice on how to do that, or just overall advice. And one thing I wanted to do as well is I wrote down some inspirational messages, and I'll be drawing them for each pile for a message from your ancestors. So yeah, today our placements are keys. So this will be pile number 1. It's one that looks kind of like a binoculars that you're looking down. Yeah, I'll get more into that afterwards. This is pile number 2. Pile number 3. And pile number 4. And as always, this is a general reading. It may not resonate with all those who watch it, or it just may not be your time to hear that message. You're welcome to pick a different pile or a different reading. That's perfectly okay. And as well as I'm not taking any personal readings at this time, so if anyone tries to message you in your DMs or below in the comments, they're scammers, and do not give them your hard-earned money. If you need to take some time, you may pause and do so. You may pick multiple piles if you feel called to as well, and timestamps will be below, and this is a timeless reading. So let's get into it and see your pile. Pile number 1. If you chose the one that looked like a binocular, you may enjoy going to the shows or cinema, opera, types of things like that, or you may enjoy bird watching, or putting googly eyes on stuff. You may be a prankster, is what I'm getting. Enjoy nature and finding the funner and things in life. So off to the side here, and I will start asking with the question on what does our pile number 1's, what hatchet do they need to bury? Whether it's friendship, relationship, what is it that they need to bury the hatchet? What do they need to lay to rest? So I feel like for some of this may not resonate with everyone, but some of you may actually be putting someone to rest around this time, as this has love on the tombstone there. You may be actually putting a loved one to rest, or just getting ready towards that time. A family member could be older in age, and you're taking care of them and taking on that responsibility. It could be a relationship that you put to rest as well, and you're letting the emotions flow naturally, and knowing, but still having your innocence, and you're still honoring your inner child and making sure that they don't feel abandoned by this by circumstances, whether it's losing a family member, which can be hard and feel like abandonment, or from the relationship as well. I wanted to let you know you still have your innocence, And you're not giving up on love, because in that little corner right there, it sort of looks like a corner of a wishing well. So you're still holding on to a beautiful thing of love, and knowing that uh, it's better to have loved and lost than not to have loved at all. As well as the 31, you could be 31, or 4 could be an important number to you, especially if you are looking for that 4 of Wands, which is stability, love, happiness, abundance of wealth, health, and uh, creativity. Especially, and you want it to be everlasting, with the ivy in the background, and one of the symbolisms is ivy. So what you're putting to rest is love that doesn't resonate with you. For those who aren't actually laying someone to rest, for those who are laying someone to rest, my condolences. And I know that it could be hard in the heart place. I can feel it holding energy for you. Run some hot, warm water over your hands when it starts to feel overwhelming, is the message that I'm getting, so that you're able to ground yourself, because sometimes it's just overwhelming. And that could be for you as well. I'm just going to take out the book for 1 second and just confirm that I got everything I needed to from the messages. Yeah. Regret, change, or moving forward. The empty tomb of love. There is a feeling of loss, whether this is physical or emotional. You must remember that whatever major changes in our lives, there's always hope. So like I was saying, you already are on your stuff, pile number 1. You're already on that part, and it's just working through that grief. And it is a process. It's not something that you can skip over, and there's no shortcut, and it's not linear. So the fact that you're facing it head on and putting it to rest is a very mature and healed thing to do. Sometimes the light at the end of the tunnel feels distant, but rest assured you will get there. Whatever age you are, there is a childlike innocence about you, and it's okay to feel sad and lost, but it is important we do not stay in that mind frame for too long. Life is full of changes, and each day we bring a unique experience. If you feel the angels are not listening, you're wrong. They're there and waiting for you to ask for help. And if you don't believe in angels, then your support team is there and waiting in the wing for you to ask for help. Of course, they will never take away your free will, but they will always help to guide you through times of despair. Just remember, nothing is the same forever. Things will improve soon. That's also on page 42, so number 6, you could be life path number 6, life path number 4, or 42 could be important to you as well. Oh, so yeah. If we get an advice card for those for pile number 1, please. Guide spirit. Oh, I slipped the deck. Look. See, you're looking for that 4 of Wands and celebration, and spirit just wants to confirm that it may take a while to set up the party, but a really good party takes a long while to set up. Like if you set up an event and you only decide you were going to set up an event today, sure, you're high priestess. Sure, it could be an awesome event, but if you can turn an awesome event out of 1 day of planning, imagine how awesome that event would be if you gave yourself a month, gave yourself a year. And since the universe works co-creating through you, just give yourself the grace of time as well as the universe. Since I know people don't like hearing divine timing, give yourself grace of your time fall into place. Yeah, it's on the horizon coming in. but I'm getting ahead of myself here. Wow. Okay. You are the innocence. You are childlike fun, play, the sun. The sun is the source of unlimited energy and creativity, abundance, sunflowers, and waving around your your pride and passion is that red flag, because the red and orange like passion. So you could be working on your sacral chakra as well as your root. You could be eating a lot of yellow, orange, and red foods to help with that. You could be seeing a lot of sunflowers either on your timeline, uh, or out in public. This is your ancestors' way of, it was 1111. You could be seeing 1111. 1111 sunflowers and horses could be coming up on your timeline, to let you know that your guides and your ancestors are still there and they're proud of you, and the innocence that and love that you hold inside, no matter how the past has gone for you. Oh, so the advice is to keep shining like the sun, keep playing. Don't let things that have happened to you turn you cold. The world needs people like yourself. So I'm going to pull out the inspirational card from your ancestors. So keep making your own path. You're not alone. And like that it said in the card earlier, is that you may feel like you're alone and you're not, and they want to let you know again. You're allowed to ask for help, and if you don't feel comfortable or may have not had the bestest of time with your own ancestors that you know personally, you can call upon ancestors that you don't know. You can make sure that you say, ancestors of my highest good, please come through. 7:07 p.m. You could be seeing 77 or 777. It could be relevant to you as well, for when your ancestors are around. That was a beautiful message of remembering to keep your innocence, making your own path, and remembering to that once you put an old love to rest, a new one blossoms. Like, did you saw in the one image that it had the love put to rest and everything was falling away and there was no bright colors, and in your other card it was bright colors and blooming. So once you put one thing to rest, the new love will have its season. So that's everything I have for you. May you have a wonderful celebration, whatever you celebrate. All Hallows Eve, Samhain, Halloween. If you don't celebrate, and just enjoy hearing the messages from your ancestors. And I appreciate you being here. And yeah, when it was 1403, so your ancestors love you, because the old pager code used to be 143 for I love you. So your ancestors just wanted to get a little extra they love you into there, because you may not get to hear it enough and you deserve to. All right. Remember to eat, hydrate, and have fun. And I'll see you all in the next video. All right. Bye. Pile number 2. If you chose this key, then this reading is for you. So it kind of reminded me, I don't know why, but if you can see it, it kind of looks like a face of a lion to me. So you could be Leo You don't have to. It could be a familiar symbolism for you, as well as um, a, what are they called? Chimeras. You could be into historical creatures and such, like sphinxes and um, that kind of historical mythology and folklore could be something that you're really into. You could also be into old style doors as well. I'm getting one of those like lions that sit outside of doors as well. So you could be into gargoyles or statues. You could be into old style Victorian or Elizabeth era of art. So I'm going to be asking uh, the question on what you need to lay to rest. What hatchet do you need to bury from your ancestors? So ancestors of pile, it was 1616, so you could be seeing sixes or ones a lot, or 16, or number 7. 7 could be important to you. Ancestors are to, what is it that they need to bury? What is it they need to lay to rest? I just got the song I'll Never Break Your Heart. I'll never make you cry. I don't remember who that's by. Uh, like BB4 or something. It's a boy band. No, I don't think it's in sync, but I could be wrong. Um, you y'all could be into boy bands, or you could be play in a band. You don't have to specifically be into boy bands. You just may be really into bands and seeing shows and stuff like that, or you may be a producer or musician yourself. That's just something that came through. So we have number 18. I feel like what is being laid to rest for, or what hatchet you're bearing, is letting go of toxic family homes and people who may want to like pull at your energy and be energy vampires. They don't have to specifically be family, but people who you saw as family. As you can see here, she's like walking away um, with her belongings here. And there's the bats like sort of chasing her, but she's not paying any mind to them. She's not looking back. She's just holding herself with poise and grace, even though there's grief there, because she has her hands on the spirit, holding it out to the sides. So you may be setting up boundaries, but you're doing it with grace and kindness, to the point where people who are toxic don't know how to respond to that because they're used to triggering people, and you're not giving them the reaction that they want. Some of you may not some of you may be no contact altogether. Um, some of you may be no contact due to religious reasons, because it looks like that cross looks very heavy on her. I know it's a Gothic cross and it's not technically supposed to be Catholicism, but to me intuitively, that's the message I'm getting, is they may not be accepting of your partner. The way you speak up for yourself, they may not like the way you stick up for yourself You might have been their emotional punching bag growing up, and they don't like that that's coming to an end. You could be like 18 or are 18. There's also the number 9, so I feel like that's coming to an end for you, is having to deal with this. Because I feel like you could have been gone for a while now, but they could have been trying to pop back up with that phasing kind of shadowing there. It's like almost like it's from a different timeline, that home. Oh. Some of them may not like the fact that you talk to other family members and not them, or friends of the family and not them. But yeah, I feel like it was from a whole nother timeline. Like you may have had some issue brought up recently, like a friend or family member trying to reach out, and you're like, no, like it's been a long time. I'm not even like on that timeline anymore. We're not we're not even close to being on that timeline. I don't know why you think we're going to be working and doing and talking and conversing now. It's been a long time. You kind of missed that boat, but you still feel sad that you gotta like put up that healthy boundary and know your worth. Unpopular opinion is that there's grief even with letting go of toxic relationships or holding up boundaries against those that may not be for your highest good. Because your heart is kind. Your heart doesn't realize that, you know, not to love. It's in your nature. Your nature is to love. Their nature is to take as much as they can from the scraps of energy that they get from others, which isn't sustainable, and I don't envy them. You're right for cutting them off, and if you haven't yet, then and thinking about it and working towards it, then just know that you deserve to be treated kindly and respectfully for no other reason than you're human, and we all deserve that. Not because we listened to them or did what they wanted. No, it's just freely. It should be given freely, not because we do their bidding and listen to them. By the way, I'm getting on a tangent here. Yeah, some of them make you feel like you're leaving them out in the cold, like you're acting like you're giving them the cold shoulder, but really you're just protecting yourself and your own energy. And you don't want to have to go through the grieving process of letting them go again after letting them into your life. You may have done it a couple of times. That's your advice on letting go of this environment that they've healed past. You've healed from this. You've moved on from it. They haven't yet because they refuse to take accountability and work on themselves. That's not your responsibility or your problem. Yes. Yes. Keep striving forward. You will be successful. You will find those who are meant to be around you and will treat you with respect and, celebrate you. Look at all those friends. They all each have their stick and they're all celebrating their friend because they deserve to be treated with love and respect, I also see wealth draped over the horse. So I feel like you may be getting a new car or an upgrade for your car or just something for your transportation. Let's see if you walk, and you need new winter boots. There's that. If you're looking to travel and you're not sure whether or not your passport is going to be approved in time, stuff like that, I feel like it's going to be successful for you. Is 2444 on the clock, so 444 could be important to you. It also means that you're rising up to a newer and more angelic being. So the fact that you are keeping your boundaries and knowing your worth and keeping steady head with your course. Some of you could be taking a course and graduating or passing a course if it wasn't for academic reasons. You will be given accolades and celebrated for things that you do. People are going to celebrate you for the kindness you do, for all of your creativity. Because I feel like there was, and loyalty. I feel like you're going to find success in having a chosen family that will be loyal, and you won't have to worry about whether or not they're trying to be in secret competitions or if they're trying to steal from you, stuff like that. Because I feel like that's all you're doing. You're walking away and showing yourself loyalty with the purple here cloaked on her dress, when as royalty. Some of you may have a wealthy family, not particularly royalty, but it could, maybe there's some out there. Um, some of you may be told that you're not loyal enough to the family because of this when you're leaving. Just know that loyalty to yourself and your well-being is more important than your bloodline. I'm just going to tell you straight now. Your tie to your soul is thicker than the blood ties. There was a quote I did have at one point. It's on my Instagram that I quoted one time. Now I can't even quote myself. But either way, you're going to find loyalty in friends and people who want to take that time. Because if you can see in the distance, there's just regular grass and bushes and shrubbery. So it might be your family shrub that gets into, your family could be in the suburbs, and now you're moving away from them, and they're like, you're going to lose your money, and you're like, but I'm going to be successful over here. I'm going to be successful in finding people who love me. I'm going to be successful making something of myself on my own. Because underneath her feet is ivy, and ivy means everlasting. So you're going from something that was only temporary, because it doesn't have the everlasting and loyalty. So you're putting to rest finally a lot of relationships that maybe have been on and off that you let back into your life multiple times, which is, I don't judge you, because I've given many people the benefit of doubt too. Sometimes it stings, sometimes it works out, but I feel like you putting it to rest, you're gonna find that success and a way to carry yourself through it all. Okay, that's all I have for you for messages from there. Now I'm going to get the last, the written message that I did channeled before the reading from your ancestors. Which one, please, ancestors? This one? Yes. Okay. Well, trust in the process. You were learning to trust in the process and seeing how things unfold naturally for you. Unfold naturally for you? Sorry, I'm a dork. Descendants will inherit kindness through your boundaries. So that doesn't mean necessarily that you'll have children yourself. Even if you don't have children and you have like nieces or nephews or cousins and like great cousins or second cousins or family line, and even if you don't have any of those things that you know of, then descendants in your other lifetimes will learn this from your soul when they come to incarnate watching. It's whole thing. Either way, just it said the whole time that you're setting up boundaries. So if you're leaving and there's other family members like siblings that you may have to leave behind, or even parents that you may leave behind and they're still clinging to the ways they were raised by their parents, and they won't step away from their toxic parents because they were never taught that. Well, now you're not only teaching um, your descendants, but you're teaching the descendants before you kindness for yourself through your boundaries. So not only you're showing kindness for yourself, you're showing kindness to them on how you do it, like, because you're doing it with grace. You're not being like, F everybody, I'm out. No, you're like, I believe I deserve to be treated better than this, and I don't see anyone taking accountability, and I know you may not understand why I'm stepping away, but I'm going to do so and may find healing. It's not how, like, it's not that you're doing it, it's how you're doing it. You're doing it with kindness and strength, and your family will inherit that from you, whether through all rippling through all your bloodline. It was 3131. So 4s, 4s, and 1s and 3s could be important to you. It could be life path 11 or 33. So yeah, descendants will inherit kindness through your boundaries. Because if they see you do it, then why can't they? All right. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful celebration, no matter what you're celebrating. Samhain, it's not even how you pronounce it, Kim, you know it. It's Samhain. I haven't done that in a long time. Some people may, you may have to put up boundaries with people correcting you all the time and trying to micromanage what it is that you try to get out. It could be family members being like, actually, you don't know what you're talking about, and like try and tell you don't know things, but you do. You do. You know things. All right. So I appreciate everyone coming by. Thank you for sharing your energies with me, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Remember to eat, hydrate, and have fun. Bye now. Pile number 3. If you chose this one, then this key, and this pile is for you. If you chose this key, this pile is for you. Blip, 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 blip. At first, I just wanted to let you see that it reminds me of the heart. So I feel like a lot of you come from the heart. The key to your heart is through opening your own heart. I feel like a lot of you are emotionally available, and you may not find a lot of people who may not meet a lot of other people who reach that much depth in themselves as you do. And that may make you feel out of place with such a big heart, but it is important. All right, what is it that pile number 3 needs to lay to rest? What hatchet do they need to bury? What is it? Okay, I'm going to take that card because it told me. It felt very warm when I picked it up. But at the same time, I still feel like that's not the card that I originally asked the question for. So you'll be the first one to have an extra one. Pile to have an extra card. Some of you may have had messages in pile number 2. I just came from here and this was their card, so I'm going to put that back. That's all the message from that card. What is pile number 3? Is this laying to rest? Now the number 36 here is the card, so 36 could be important to you, or 9s. What you're laying to rest is your self-doubt. Pile number 3 is you're putting to rest your self-doubt. Second guessing yourself, wondering if people may know more than you, may know better. I don't know why I got that from this. She just seems so confident and like sort of like leaning her body like yes, and conversing with the crow inside of a graveyard. So I feel like you may do photo shoots, or you may feel comfortable in places that aren't of what society considers the norm. So you may be into, some of you may be into, I feel like, macabre, types of like grotesque horror movie type feel. That may not be for all of you, but I do definitely get that feeling. Some of you may work with like haunted houses, or industry with the makeup, like doing horror movie makeup stuff, or you may do music videos. Because it just reminds me of like seeing those goth girls inside of the, and boys inside of the graveyard taking like super cool pictures of themselves. You may enjoy walking through graveyards or historical sites to clear your mind and ground yourself, because when you ground to history, it makes you feel closer to the universe. Spooky forest. So you may have like enjoy going for walks through forests, even though others are like, ew, there's bugs, or oh, it's dark, or I'm worried about getting lost, and you're like, not me, I'm gonna go explore this empty here cave and up this creepy, desolate place. Oh, you may enjoy going to abandoned places. This is all stuff about you for confirmation. I'm like, really, that's all I'm getting here, is that you're removing self-doubt of how other people's opinions and views don't faze you anymore. And you're like pulling yourself up from your own grave. Like everyone was like, oh, she's like, they're over with. They're like, oh, them? They don't go out anymore. Oh, them? Oh, I haven't seen them in years. They're not doing much. And then boom, come back. Pulling yourself, digging through the grave, and just. And now everyone's like, did you see? Did you see? They crawled their way out of hell. And you're like, yeah, I did. It was a breeze. It was a vacation. Actually, I think I grew hotter through all of that. And you're just like really laying to rest anyone who like scoffs at your past. Like anyone who thinks that like you should feel bad about yourself because you've grown since then, obviously doesn't get what growth is supposed to mean. Like taking accountability and growth, people deserve to have the opportunity to grow. So you're laying to rest other people's opinions, and you're laying to rest feeling like you need to take your time like, oh, I mean, you're laying to rest the needing to rush. Like, she looks like she's got nowhere to go in a hurry. So I feel like our pile number threes, you're not in a rush to get anywhere. You know that your creative process, when it's over, will be super, like, bomb. Like, another banger. People, like, you come out with a song, people will be like, oh my goodness, I didn't even know you were gonna make new music again. I thought you were done. And you're like, no, boom, another banger. People are like, oh, they haven't drawn or done a digital art or graphic designing in a while, or I haven't seen them come to sports, and all of a sudden, boom, signed up for the next sport, boom, coming out and partying, boom, seen everywhere by people, like people who thought that you were going to just have this situation happen to you and you're just going to roll over and let it consume you, and you didn't let all that dismay and debris and old ways of living that you've buried behind you get in the way. Some of you may feel like your guides are far away and not close to you, and you're putting that to rest as well, knowing that your guides and guardians are there for you always. And you just had to see that their signs were coming through in different ways than you were expecting. So now you're being more receptive to their messages. How I'm getting that is because you used to look for like the generic look, like, oh, it's an angel, it's gonna be a crying statue, and it'll tell me it loves me. That's where my guide's messages will come. But in reality, every time you see a bird or a crow or a squirrel and like images in the clouds, where the real message is all along around you. When you saw your favorite animal on your timeline was your guys' ways of cheering you up. When you saw 444 333 on the clock, that's their way of messaging you. When you thought there was going to literally be Gabriel coming down with a whole bunch of eyes being like, do not be afraid. But in reality, that's not how it works. So you're putting to rest your old misconceptions on how your guides and guardians and ancestors will communicate to you as well. So you're putting to rest being in a rush, you're putting to rest self-doubt, and you're putting to rest old ways of thinking how you should communicate with your spiritual guides. Okay. Advice for pile number 3, please. Yeah, you may see trumpets, like this is supposed to be like judgment is when like they all get called up, and you thought that's how it would work out, is that they would come and call you out. Excuse me. Advice for pile number 3s, please. Advice. Pile number 3s, please. Your ship's gonna come in. I don't know if you're worried about traveling or a package that may be being delivered to you. It's on its way and will arrive safely. You could be working in merchandise where you like ship things off and you may be worried about whether or not your product will reach clientele. It will all go well. That was an extra message from Spirit. Ooh, yes. So not only was we're just talking about how like your business, but also you get the Queen of Pentacles. Know that you are abundant in love, kindness, nurturing, but you're also abundant in loyalty and confidence, and you are the GOAT. You're the GOAT. So right there, it's like you're the greatest of all time for yourself. Everyone is their own GOAT. I also see bunnies in the front, so your innocence is still there as well. You're innocent, you're divine, and as well as it want to again to advice to reiterate for another time that you were putting to rest that you weren't able to communicate with your guides, and they just wanted to come through and confirm that yes, they are there for you all the time, over you, and you're allowed to ask for help at any given moment that you need guidance. They're not allowed to step in or do anything that will infringe on your free will. So if you feel like you need an extra boost or some guidance, like if you have an important message coming up, a conversation or an appointment, be like, hey, guides, ancestors, can you please guide me through this? This is an important message, and I would like to do so for my highest good. And yeah, they just want you to take extra steps like that. They want you to put aside some money for like every now and then to invest in yourself, because you deserve to take investments. You are a worthy investment. They want you to know that you are a worthy investment. The time you're putting into your creativity and your business is worth it. Even if you're not doing it for monetary reasons, they say your creativity and putting money aside for investing in yourself, whether it's your hobbies, treating yourself every now and then if you don't tend to do so, or when you do treat yourself you feel bad because you're spending money, then saving ahead of time will help, can help take some of that pressure off, because then that's considered your allowance. Give yourself an allowance because you're allowed. Okay, so that's everything I have for you, is give yourself an allowance and ask for and that you are welcome to ask for help from your guides and angels and support team here on Earth anytime you feel necessary. Which one do I give from? Spirit guides, guardians, ancestors. You have alchemized inner child wounds into strength of self-love. So yeah, you've alchemized inner child wounds of possibly abandonment, not feeling good enough, people pleasing, and you've alchemized that into strength of self-confidence and believing in yourself and doing things your way. Not to the extent where it's like do things your way or the highway, but like so that everyone feels seen and heard. All right, well, that's the message I have for you. May you have a spooktacular holiday, whichever way you celebrate or don't celebrate at all, and just wanted to have these kind of messages from your ancestor, plural ancestors. Yeah, so remember to eat, hydrate, and have fun. Bye! pile number 4. If you chose this one, then this is the pile for you. Before we get into it, just wanted to, like, it kind of reminds me, it doesn't look anything like it, but it does remind me of the Celtic knots and stuff like this. So you may be into Celtic knot work. You could be Celtic, Welsh, stuff like that. You could be from UK, Scotland, or you could just have ancestors that are from there, and that's just confirmation coming through. And so you could be into leather working as well, as that kind of reminds me of what they usually imprint on belts and stuff like that. It just reminds me of leather work. It could be extra confirmation from someone. If it is, let me know down below. This is the second cards. Can we get what pile number 4 needs? Oh, it's 5115. You could be seeing 5s or 1s or 6 a lot. Can we get what they need to lay to rest? What is the hatchet they need to bury? Please, spirit guardian ancestors. For pile number 4, what is it they need to rest? Spirit, can you, ancestors, can you let me know what this image is supposed to be letting me know? I feel like for pile number 4, what you're laying to rest is people pleasing and codependency on loved ones. Because see here with the holding on to the tail here, I feel like that's someone, and love comes from the roses. So now whether this is you or you may be dealing with this from someone else, and you're finally putting your foot down, being like, you can't just keep being dependent on me. You're going to have to learn how to take care of yourself. I'm not going to be people pleasing for you anymore and doing your bidding. You know, some of you may have a smother who, a mother who just wants to be in all your business, or needs you to make their appointments, stuff like that. I feel like this pile parents their parent or siblings a lot. You may have had to parent your parents or your siblings or both. Or you may have had to parent your, well, it could have been from a wound from a parent that carried on into a relationship. Some of your relationships may have been with people who needed parenting. It was super dependent on you and are people pleasers instead of taking accountability. And what you're laying to rest is you're finally letting go of the shame and guilt of putting up the boundary to be like, no, I have my own life and I need to take care of myself. You're gonna have to do these things for yourself now. I'm just gonna read from the book just because I think there may be an extra message here. Support, faith, and vulnerability. Each of us is a child of someone. As adults, however successful, important, busy we are, from time to time we need support, guidance, and protection. This card suggests a sense of vulnerability about you. It's important to know your spirit guides are never far away, and even though these higher beings are not physical, you're never alone as they stand behind you to support your every move and decision. Do not confuse faith with religion, for rather, faith is strength in having to believe that there is a force greater than ourselves ready to help us through difficult times. Your protector may be an earthbound angel, therefore, do not be afraid to answer. Do not be afraid to talk to someone close if you need advice. Maybe a friend or a relative. You may be surprised at where support comes from at this time. So yeah, you may have support with it. Like if you didn't have to raise your siblings and you like grew together, now you're like kind of banding together to be like, yo, our parents need to chill. They can't just be showing up whenever they want unannounced. And it's like, is mom showing up unannounced at your house too? It's like, yeah, we need to do something. So for some of you, your siblings are banding together to create healthier boundaries from those who may overstep, using their parental figure as a reason to step boundaries. Okay. So what you're laying to rest is unhealthy patterns with the way you interact with family members. Someone who may be codependent on you, or you may be becoming self-aware that you've been codependent on others and not taking as much responsibility over your life, and now you've decided, hey, I want to be in control of myself and make a future that I can be proud of. And you're like, I'm gonna drive my own vehicle. I'm gonna drive my own mech and stay in my lane. So you're learning to stay in your lane, not people please as much. And yeah, excuse me. Been really dry lately. Gotta put the humidifier on later. Oh, some of you may try to like steam things up for yourself. Maybe you were scared of being vulnerable to steam things up. So some of you may be putting to rest your shyness, because that's one of the first images I saw. I'm like, but I don't think that's the main thing. But it is one of the things that you are laying to rest is your shyness, to be more confident and seductive as well. If you're asexual, then that part of the message is not for you. Just reiterate. Star card. You are a star. You have multiple streams of creativity and income coming into your life. But even though you are pouring into those streams of incomes, you're still pouring into yourself the most. This is your cup. And this is your other obligations or responsibilities that you've created for yourself. And your ancestors wanted to let you know, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Barbie Rapunzel, but there's a quote that says, constant as stars. Our love is as constant as the stars above. And they want to let you know that even though you may be dealing with family members on this realm who aren't acting out of their higher self's guidance, that there are others that are proud of you on the other side. So it was 10001, and 000 means infinity, infinite, and as well as a the final countdown to a new beginning. Advice, please, for our pile number 4s, please. Guides, guardians, and ancestors. You're the fool. Take the leap. Take the leap of faith. Your foundation as yes. So your ancestors. Oh my goodness. So you may be seeing 3s a lot. Since the number 21 reduces to 3, as well as you got the 3 of Cups, so that's 3. So you could be seeing 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, as well as their life path number could be a 3 or a number 6. They want you to remember to take time to celebrate. I know it's hard work when you're constantly doing things for others, but if you don't take time to celebrate and take time for rest and filling your own cup, like the inside of the star card, then over time you may feel resentment for those you help, even if you may love them. Like it may be a loved one who doesn't get on your nerves and constantly ask for your help and stuff like that, and you may accidentally, crack and pour out that frustration on people who it wasn't meant for, because you haven't took time to decompress and take time to rejuvenate and enjoy your feast and harvest. Take a moment to enjoy that harvest and feast that you constantly put the hard in work for. Some of you may be put in a third party situation. That's not for everyone, so don't make it fit if it doesn't. The third party situation might be that your family is trying to or this toxic relationship is trying to triangulate by getting another person involved in the argument to create more drama. So it may not just be an intimate an entanglement of the 3 people. It just means that someone else might need to be brought in order to, you know, get to the head of the problem and come out with solutions. Like I said earlier, when I said earlier that your family member, you and your siblings may be, grouping together with your resources and energy to let that toxic family member know that they need to cool it and respect boundaries. And so, but yeah, if you're constantly doing things for others and not taking time for yourselves, even if it's out of the goodness of your heart and they're good people and they deserve it, it can sometimes lead to resentment and a rift in the relationship where you can see that crack in the foundation. Um, and people pulling at your energy may be causing a strain and want you to cut them off as well. Whether that's friends, families, or whatnot. Or they could be bringing you into their arguments a lot too. You could have a friend who has a bad relationship and they just constantly bringing up their partner and how they're not happy with them, being a total asshole and trying to ask you stuff, but never actually taking any accountability or moving forward, taking self-preservation, the whole shindig, but they want to bring you into it, have your advice, and drain your energy, and it's causing a rift. So even though it's not your fight with them, it's still causing strain or resentment. What you're burying is letting people pull at your energy. You're putting to rest your shyness. You're putting to rest letting people pull out your energy. You're putting to rest you're putting to rest yourself, because you deserve a good rest. Like, seriously, I'm just gonna lay down here. You really should embrace that energy. But this is only advice, and you are a free will. So, yes. And last but not least, the last advice that I channeled from the ancestors earlier is creating and having fun is not, I repeat, is not a waste of time. All right. May you have a spooktacular celebration of whatever it is you celebrate. And remember to eat, hydrate, and have fun. And I will see you all in the next video. All right.